What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna give a second for anybody who wants to come into the room since this is live. Prof coming at you with a video about Amazon. Or is this a video or more like a rant? I don't know. I seem to be doing rants lately. But anyway, let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat okay, if you can hear and see me okay. I think the connection's pretty good, but I never know for certain. So give me a shout if you can see me and hear me. Let me pull my channel up as well here. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday. It's Thursday, August 15th, 2019. John says, yeah, we can hear you. Oh, all right. Thanks, John. Michelle says hi. Yeah, I always let these things filter in for a moment just to make sure that I'm actually live. Let me pull up my other screen here. So how's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. I want to talk to you guys a little bit today. This is part of my therapy sessions on YouTube. Is that the right word? I don't even know. But just a way to kind of like get my thoughts out and, you know, kind of see what you guys have for feedback as well. And Karen says, wait, what? I was just talking to her and she's like, you didn't mention this. But yeah, so I want to talk to you guys today a little bit about just kind of what I've been thinking about as of late. And I don't know if you guys have the same thoughts, but this idea about selling on Amazon, I know some of you are Amazon sellers, some of you are eBay sellers, some of you do both. But, you know, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've thought about quitting selling on Amazon as of late. And I think there's a lot of people in the reseller community who they'll talk about, you know, how they'll show their sales results, or they'll show how good they're doing, or they'll talk about how great eBay is, or Amazon, or Poshmark, or Etsy, or whatever they're selling on. But the reality is, a lot of those people probably have moments when they're thinking about quitting. And I've thought about quitting as of late, and I've thought about it for several reasons. I was going to share with you guys and just kind of get your feedback. I don't know if any of you guys out there feel the same way, but I did a video the other day about selling on Amazon is hard because we keep running out of capital. There's other reasons too. You know, constantly staying abreast with all the changes on the platform, figuring out what's going to sell, what's not selling, finding new sources of inventory, all the operational stuff that goes on behind the scenes, dealing with restrictions and customer feedback and complaints and suspensions and all kinds of things. And it's a big hassle. I'm not going to lie. It is a big hassle. I feel like eBay is a little less of a hassle for sellers than Amazon. Amazon probably makes you jump through more hoops. And it's harder to sort of stay in line with everything that Amazon wants you to do because the rules are constantly changing, sometimes in ways which just make it really difficult. But you know, I think the real challenge is this. If you've ever worked for a living at a job and you get up every day, you go to the job, you do the job, and then they pay you, and you come home and you can usually kind of turn the job off. You can turn that off in your brain. You really can't turn it off if you're selling full-time for a living on any of these platforms. You can't ever really turn it off. It's there 24/7. You're getting emails, you're getting notifications, you're checking your sales, you're dealing with customers, you're, you know, responding to this, responding to that. And it's a pain in the butt. I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. There's every day I wake up and think to myself, I love doing this. And every day I wake up and think to myself, I hate doing this. Every day I wake up and think, I don't know if I want to do this, or I'll think I do want to do this. It's like a constant struggle every single day. I know somebody else out there's got to feel the same way. I know there's got to be other people out there who say, yep, I feel the same way every day. And I know a job is similar, but it's different when all the decisions are on you, like they are when you're in business for yourself. It's not, you know, if you go to a job and you do what you're supposed to do, they're going to pay you. You're going to get paid. You're going to keep your job. unless, I mean, things can happen. You can absolutely lose your job. But for the most part, you're just going to keep your job and keep going. I mean, you don't know that. I mean, if you don't get up and do what you need to do for selling on Amazon, it eventually will end. Like it'll peter out. It'll be very, very low. You won't have a lot of sales. You can do something and get suspended. And that is a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress to think every day I've got to get up and figure out how to make this machine work. And then the other part of it is, even if you figure that out, this is the part I'm struggling with. I don't know if it's the right way. Like we've sold different products over the last I guess the last year plus now, and we've gone into different categories. But every time I look at something different, it actually kind of stresses me out because I think, is this the right thing to be selling? Should I go this direction? Should I go that direction? I don't know. I mean, it's the worst. I just think that stress alone of like doubting yourself every single day, like I could probably do 10 videos on that, like self-doubt and everything that encompasses. And man, I've got a lot of it on a daily basis. I you know we I think this channel has always been a pretty positive place for the most part. I don't think we get too involved in drama or criticizing other people, and I'm not about to start that now. But I'm also going to be realistic. I mean, every day is like a new battle against self-doubt every single day. And I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. I'm not depressed or anything like that. It's just this stress of figuring out what to do every single day. And there's no one there to really tell you if what you're doing is the right course of action. There's no one there to tell you you're going the right way or you're going the wrong way. I mean, I am struggling with it. I've always struggled with it some, but I think since I've gotten on Amazon, Amazon is like a cruel mistress. It's such a tease because you'll have a month where like everything works, everything sells, your sales go through the roof. You send in a shipment and boom, 200, 300, 500, 600, 700 bucks, whatever. It's there, it's there, it's there. And then all of a sudden, and that was a month we had like in May of this year. And then June was pretty good too. And then July like dropped off a cliff. I don't know why. We changed some what we were selling because we couldn't send in certain meltables anymore. And certain things we were selling some vitamins and supplements, and when they have probiotics in them, you can't send those in the summer because they'll get destroyed. So we had to kind of pivot a little bit. We were doing less books anyway, and we pivoted to some apparel. And the apparel has been great. Like when it sells for good profit, but we just don't have a lot of it, and it's more expensive to source. It's a higher average cost of goods, and I don't know. I mean, I just think that like there's just a lot of a doubt that I have every single day about this business and about selling on Amazon. And I just ask myself, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it is or not. I mean, the monetary rewards can be pretty good. I don't think they're as great as you think on the surface because as you scale up the business, there's more overhead. There's more time you have to spend a lot of times, or more systems and things you have to figure out. You change from becoming an operator to more of an overseer and a manager. But like getting from there to there is really hard. And most people don't make it. I mean, it's just like anything else, right? Most people don't make it. And I'm just curious, like with you guys in the chat and the comments after this, I mean, do you find yourselves wanting to give up? And maybe not even give up's the right word. Maybe you just say, and I don't know what the reasons, but maybe you just say it's not so much you want to give up, you just want to do something different. Do you want to go in a different direction? Do you want to sell something different? Do you want to quit selling altogether? I don't know. I guess I'm just looking for validation of my feelings. This is like a psychology session. But in all honesty, though, I mean, do you find yourselves just thinking, with a lot of self-doubt And I don't mean in a depressive way. I just mean in the way that you just don't know if what you're doing makes sense or works. Oh my gosh! Somehow I just turned on Siri. That was pretty funny. Um, uh, yeah, Susanna says she used to do merchant fulfill and only gets a sale now and then. Used to do far better. And what about on eBay too? I mean, I know people on eBay struggle with this too. This is what I struggle with eBay. It's like I felt like I was putting a lot of effort and not getting a lot of results. Amazon, I put in a lot of effort and I get results sometimes, and other times I just don't. And I don't understand why it changes. I don't know if it's like a gap in my knowledge. I don't know if it's something I'm screwing up in the execution, if I'm not picking the right products or the right repricing strategy. I don't know. I mean, it's really weird because when you have a batch of inventory at Amazon and it's selling and it's here and then all of a sudden it's here, you don't and you don't know why. You don't know what changed. Like you didn't do anything different. I know there's roller coasters of sales, but if you have like a $300 day and then you turn around and you have a $45 day, in my mind that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like it's possible that what you really had there was $270 days on average, but it's very weird. And I know part of it's just, figuring out the algorithm and so on, but I don't know that I've figured it out. I've put a lot of time into it. I've put a lot of time to figure out repricing and, what to sell in terms of sales rank and so on. And maybe I'm just stupid. I don't mean stupid, but you know what I mean? Just like there's something just really lacking there. But every day, I think, I know sales is not the only measure of what you should be worried about, and you don't really have that much control over it. But at some point, you have to look at, am I getting the results that I thought I would get? And if I'm not, what can I do differently? I don't know how long that period should be to wait. I don't know what should, spark something in you to change, or just, hey, ride it out. This is just the way it goes. It's really weird. And I was talking with another reseller friend the other day, and he's been on this same roller coaster of sales as of late. And he's doing a strategy that's a little different than mine, but some similarities. And we both talked about how we saw these same patterns. And I don't really know why. Like, I don't know why we saw these boom and bust months where we just had a great month followed by a terrible month, or, just a big drop off. Um, I remember being in retail management, we would have days where obviously were better than others. The weekend was always better than the weekdays because more people were off work and shopping. But it was rare that you ever had a day that it really dropped a lot from the day before, like during the week. Like Tuesday wasn't like significantly different than Monday or Wednesday. There would be some variation, but some of these drops on Amazon, it's almost like something changes with the algorithms and the searches and so on, and your results just bottom out. It is the craziest thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Um, but I know I shouldn't get so caught up in the day to day. I know I've preached that before, and it's true. But I've been seeing this trend now for like a good almost 3 months, and I don't know how to get out of this. How to get off the ride here, how to figure this out, and it's just making me doubt a lot of things, and that's why I'm asking these questions in this video. But I'll look at a couple questions in the comment here, or comments. Peddling Profit says it depends on your product. Don't like you can sell something one day and not the next. I know, but it's like it takes so long to figure out when you change your product, your category. Like it takes a long time to figure out if what you're doing makes sense. Like you don't know sometimes for like a month or two, and then like that's another month or two gone. You've invested that time, that money. It's really frustrating, and then you get to the end, and then you're like, oh, that was stupid. Q4 is coming. The summer slowdown makes a lot of people want to quit, but just remember it's around the corner. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep that in mind, Queen City. I mean, you're right. I know there's always a summer slowdown, I just wish it would stop. Are you using Repricer? Yes, I use Be Cool, which is a really good repricer, but and it works. It's repricing. It's not a repricing issue, I don't think. A niche works better. It's far less stressful than selling everything. We're definitely not selling everything, Susanna. We definitely have niched down. We only sell in about 3 or 4 categories max. Uh, Joseph says, a friend, we switch stock and it may not sell in my stores and will in hers and vice versa. See, and that makes no sense, does it, Joseph? Like that makes no sense why it would sell in your store but not hers or vice versa. Like that makes no sense at all. If it's the right price, Amazon's algorithm. I know that Amazon is in a battle with Google over advertising revenue and where they're sending people to shop. And when Google changes their algorithm, I think it just decimates Amazon's search rankings for a few days. I can't prove that, but I've heard tale of such thing because you'll see these periods where all of a sudden your sales just drop for several days because Google changed something, and all of a sudden people when they search, they're not seeing Amazon up near the top of the search result, so they're not coming to your page, and that's a whole topic for a whole nother video. Jed has the same problem. Susanna doesn't want to do FBA. Yeah, too many folks have decided to sell online. Competition's a problem. Yeah, I hear you, Lisa J. I guess my response to that would be is that online sales is still nowhere near the majority of retail sales. There's a lot of room for growth. That's one thing we forget about. It's not just supply, it's also growth. Um, and Amazon's grown, eBay's grown, all these other sites have grown. I kind of disagree with that there's too much competition. There's competition, and in certain things, there's a lot of competition. But I think a lot of people still are warming up to the idea of shopping online for more and more of their items. I think there's a lot of room for growth online. I mean, what was the last year? It was like 11% of retail sales were online. So 89% were brick and mortar. I mean, that's a huge room for growth in my mind. Uh, eBay is coming out with Fulfilled by eBay. It gives you more options. You have to weigh between the pros and cons. Yeah. eBay's trying to be FBA, trying to be Amazon. I don't know. I I'm not optimistic, let's just say, about eBay's chances of pulling that off, but we'll see. Susanna says, I sense you need to find something else. I know, right? Um, I've thought about that. You know, people say that you should do something that fulfills you. No pun intended with Amazon, right? Yes, to a point. But whatever you choose isn't going to fulfill you 24/7. There's always going to be moments, a lot of moments, when you're doubting it, when you're unhappy about it, you don't want to do it. So I don't know that stopping necessarily fixes anything. And I always think too, if you're going to stop one thing, you need to start doing something else. Like you're gonna fill, like nature pours a vacuum, right? You're gonna fill that time with something else. You're going to do that space with something else. You're going to do something else. So before I would ever quit selling on Amazon, I would want to have a plan in place to what I was going to do next. That's what I did when I moved away from eBay. I moved towards Amazon. But um, but maybe we'll see. I mean, but you got to have some sense of accomplishment, some sense of peace about it. And right now, I don't have a lot of peace with Amazon. It's just stress. It seems like every day I'm a little bit stressed about it. Some days less than others. Not having capital to source makes you very antsy. When you get that disbursement from Amazon, I talked about this in the last video. When you get that disbursement, and then like 2 days later you've spent all your money, then what do you do for the next 12 days? It's really frustrating. Rich says, every day, even on my best days, I question whether or not I'm doing the right thing. My cure is to turn on the morning news and watch the traffic report. I'm then cured. Rich, I feel like you said that sarcastically. I could be wrong. But yeah, if maybe you meant it, like you turn on the morning news and watch the traffic report and you're just thinking, well, my life's not that bad. Because listen to all this nonsense. Yeah, I had to cut the news off. it's very depressing to listen to the news, especially the local news. But national news is not much better. Put your AZ products on Shopify. Yeah, I know, Jeanette. People have done that. Like Rakin did that for a while, I think. I don't know that he's really doing much of it now. I mean, Shopify is a whole nother beast, and I really don't want to like learn a whole nother platform. It's such a time suck. It's such an investment of time. And one of the challenges, and this is like maybe a topic for another video as well, is like maybe like moving from thing to thing is part of the issue. You just really have to stay focused in on something for a while and really just try to crush it before you move on to something else. Maybe. I don't know. Thrifty Nickel. What's up, Thrifty? I've seen the same weird dips and spikes, either way, up or non-existent. Yeah. Maybe we're just unrealistic. Maybe we just think it should be just, this nice, smooth, gradual, and maybe it's never going to be that way. I don't know. I think we're probably unrealistic to some degree, but that doesn't make it any easier to deal with. When someone buys something from Facebook Marketplace and comes to my home, is that an online sale or brick and mortar sale? Yeah, I would say that's online for sure. I mean, brick and mortar means you put it in a store, a space, and then they come to you and find it. You could advertise it, but yeah, I would consider that online. Peddling Profit says, selling on Amazon, I think we all feel like we're walking on eggshells with them for many reasons. Preach. For sure. I do feel like that. Like, I had a negative feedback on something yesterday. It was a supplement, and the person gave me a 1-star feedback because they said I had, the bottle had 30 in it instead of 90 like was on the listing, and they'd already used a bunch of them before they realized it, and gave me a 1-star. So I contacted Amazon and said, hey, I only sent you guys 90 count bottles. There was 3 in the shipment. The other 2 have sold. Nobody had any complaints about those only being 30. And Amazon's response was, hey, because there's not one left to verify it against, we really can't do anything. Maybe contact the seller and ask them to revise their feedback. And it's like one of those situations where they can say that that's what happened, and I have no way to know if it was a fulfillment problem. Maybe they have me mixed up with somebody else. I mean, who knows? Who knows? So I just have to eat that feedback, and that's stressful, to get a 1-star feedback. I've gotten like 2 of them in the past 2 months. The other one was on a book condition, which was not out of condition. I mean, it was correct. But people don't understand book conditions on Amazon. They think that when you say something is in good condition, they think it's like pristine. Some people, it's like, no, there's actually a few categories above that. So, but they think it's supposed to be really, really good. Some people, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, they don't read the condition descriptions on Amazon. They just read the word good, used good. So I'm almost thinking now I might put all books as used acceptable, like the lowest category you can sell it at. I don't understand that comment. Does your wife have the same stress as you, or is it only you? Karin's a lot better at dealing with this than I am. Probably because like she's working more of she's working more of a job now, not a full-time job. So she's kind of gotten a little more distance from the business by design, like she has to, because she's got to put more of her time and energy into that. So she just hears kind of like my ramblings on it. But I don't know. She stays pretty positive on it, I think, overall. She always has good suggestions. She always She can usually talk me down off the cliff, but she's not here right now, so that's why I'm doing this video. No, in all seriousness, she does keep a good mindset about it, probably much better than I do, because I kind of live and die with it each day. And she's able to look at it like the 30,000 foot view and say, well, let's look at, what's it been like over this period of time and how have things gone and, what's the future look like? Probably a lot better than me, to be perfectly honest. Um, it this whole topic just revolves around like, why are you doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I selling on Amazon? Why am I, this is like the path I chose because I wanted to be in business for myself. And Amazon made the most sense for a lot of reasons. I'm not unhappy that we went to sell on Amazon instead of eBay like we were. I still think Amazon is a better choice for what we're doing than what we were doing on eBay. But it doesn't mean it's the only choice. But if somebody asked me, well, what would you do instead of selling on Amazon? I have no idea. No idea. I wouldn't say I have no idea, but pretty much no idea. But before you answer that question, you have to answer the question I have to answer the question, is it something I want to keep doing? And as of right now, I do want to keep doing it. I just need to figure some things out and figure out like what direction I'm going in and get off of this roller coaster of emotions and living and dying with each day's results, living and dying with each email that you get from Amazon. That's the worst thing, is when you wake up. I mean, who's with me? Like, you wake up and you check your email inbox and you see an email from Amazon. It's almost never good news. Like, it's always, refund, or this item is no longer sellable, or this brand is now, I got that one, this brand is now restricted, or this item is now restricted and you have to apply for approval and I can't get approved anymore, which is fine. I don't have to sell it. Like, when you get that email from Amazon, it's never good news. It's never good news. It's always something that's going to like cause you stress or cause you to have to change what you're doing, or you screwed something up, or somebody's mad, or you're restricted on this, or you got an IP complaint over there. Man, it is just like a really a roller coaster of emotions when you get that email from Amazon every morning. I dread it. I feel like I want to turn off all the email notifications from Amazon. But I know I can't do that because I have to read some of these and go through and handle whatever it is. Carl says, don't check your email in the morning. Get your head right first. Yeah, that's great advice, Carl. I don't know what I need to do differently. I'm probably not ready for checking the email until probably about 10 a.m. I probably need to wait till about then. Then I'd be like in a good mindset. But yeah, every time I think, man, just even seeing returns, like when I get emails when I get returns, I think I can turn that off, and I probably will. But like, that's the worst, and you get a return, and like a lot of times the reason is just customer return. Who knows why, and because on some level you take it personal, right? I mean, who else feels that same way? I know other people feel the same way. Like, you take it a little bit personal as a seller. Like, I screwed something up. This person's unhappy. I don't know what I did wrong. And now they're sending this item back. Well, maybe you didn't do anything wrong, but it feels that way. It feels like something was wrong about this. Maybe it didn't fit, or they ordered the wrong thing, or it could be probably 99% of the time it's on the customer. Like, they screwed up, or it's their decision. But it's still hard when you see those return emails and you're just like, now that I'm starting to do more apparel, like, our percentages are growing. Our apparel returns have been at 8%. I mean, that's like double what they were for jeans on eBay, for instance, when we were selling just jeans. So I was kind of surprised by that. But that's just what they're running. So what am I going to do? So here it says, this is exactly how I've been feeling recently. It's when you try to grow into a proper business that self-doubt hits the hardest. Yeah, you're probably right about that, Zahir. I mean, that actually makes sense. Refund daily, just avoid negatives. Yeah. The antlers behind me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell that story, Karin. So maybe, yeah, I probably won't tell that story. But they're nice antlers. They're elk antlers? I think they're elk, right? She can answer. She's in here. This is therapy, folks. Safe space. Talk it out. I know, right? Susanna doesn't take her returns personally at all. Yeah. I think when you have moments of self doubt is when returns just are like that extra little dagger. You know, it's just getting twisted and stuck inside you, and it's just like, return, return, return. Ugh, man. I don't mind returns either normally, but you know, when you're already kind of doubting yourself, you're doubting your model, and you're doubting what you're doing, returns are just one more thing on the plate that you don't need to eat. So that's how I feel about them right now. Uh, so here's niched and gone in RC parts, and the stress is super strong. Yeah, like RC parts, I would think would you have a high level of returns possibly too, or people not ordering the right thing. Um, Lauren's trying to get her husband to knock down a wasp nest while so she can sell on eBay. Okay, I will not be helping with that. Um, just questioning everything, like every buy you make. Yeah. Zahir makes a good point. I've started questioning every buy I make, or even every buy I don't make, because like you get in this cycle of, well, my sales aren't great, they're not what I expected, so I just need to buy better things or faster selling things or more profitable things or all the above. But then you think, but all of a sudden, like now my capital's a little short because I'm not selling as much. So should I spend it on this or not? I don't know if it'll sell. So you get like in this big, huge cycle of self doubt. And man, I'm hit with that every single day. Even books, I'm feeling that way to a large extent. Like I'm probably going to go source books after this video is done, mainly because like our capital's running low, so I'm just not gonna I can go source a lot of books for not a lot of capital, but they're not going to sell that fast. So is that really the right decision? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. um, so here feels better for this honest look at business. Well, all right, there's some therapy in that for us together, right? um, yeah, I mean, that's a that brings up a point. Like if you guys don't have somebody you can talk to about your business, about your struggles, you need to find somebody. Maybe it's another group, maybe it's you start your own YouTube channel, maybe it's social media, I don't know. But you absolutely need somebody you can talk to about this stuff, because if you keep it inside, it is going to eat you alive. Which is part of the reason I've been doing this series of videos. I'm like, this is like get all the frustration out videos I'm doing. I don't know. Um, but that being able to talk about it and being able to get it out, that does help. It doesn't solve the problem, but at least gives you an outlet for the stress that's been building up so you don't internalize it. uh Thrift Daddy says books are a mistake, learn to sell better on eBay or Posh. I mean, maybe. i mean eBay and Posh have their problems too. I mean, it's just, you're not going to beat the sell through on Amazon. You're just not. I mean, things sell faster, quicker on Amazon. So you just got to figure out what that looks like. But being able to scale that up is where the real challenge comes in. And I'm not like, I've got a couple friends who, I had a friend yesterday who said to me, who's a reseller, and she sells on Amazon. And she said her son told her, hey, you're not going to really grow in this business until you get out of the shipping business, until you get out of the shipping game, until you get out of the packing game. And his point was like, if you want to grow and get bigger, you're gonna if you keep spending all this time on prepping and shipping, you just run out of time. You just run out of time. So she's looking to outsource some of that. And I mean, that's really what you need to do. And you can do that with Amazon. That's a little bit hard to do with eBay because the sell through is usually lower on a lot of things. It's harder to get people just to do those parts. I mean, you can, but you really got to have your sourcing down, and you got to have your capital and your cash flow down. And that's the part that's always tricky with eBay. Lauren says, I may or may not have made her want to go on eBay on YouTube today. Well, there you go. Just sell fast moving books. It's a volume game. The biggest sellers sell minimum profit books. Yes, they have warehouses, but it's still a grind. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about that, D Money. You actually got a great point there. I don't know if I'm going to do Gaylords of books or not because I don't know where to put them. I mean, I could get storage and go that route, but Gaylords are, oof, man, they're a whole nother thing. But and it's not a bad model, but the fast, I'm thinking about that. Like just source really good rank books, a million or less maybe. Maybe you're only going to make $2 on them, but if you can sell enough of them, after talking, I started having some serious YouTube fear of missing out. Classes in session. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know that I'm a very good teacher today, other than maybe I'm just teaching you, don't do what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't want to say that. Like, I'm happy overall with how things are going, but this is just a stressful moment. And it's like one of those obstacles that I'm just trying to figure out. Do I go around it? Do I go over it? Do I blow it up? Do I dig a trench under it? I don't know. And I just haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out how to get around this capital game, this sell-through game. Like, I love apparel, but apparel doesn't sell through as quick as some of these other items. But there's some great profit margins out there when you can, there really are. You can sell apparel and make, 3, 4, 5 times what you make on a book, but you've got to sell it, right? So it's got to figure this stuff out, especially capital and cash flow. It's really, really stressing me out. Gaylords are time consuming, although great return on investment. Yeah, Retro Dottie has some experience with this, and we've had her on the show before. And I know she had a pretty big book operation there at one point. And Gaylords are a thing, but getting them, storing them, processing them is not as easy as you think. Getting 1,000 books in that you might only keep 50 of, maybe 75, depending on your parameters, is tricky. And then where do you put them? Where do you store them? How do you get them? And what do you do with the duds? That's probably the most important question. A friend of mine, we looked into buying a tractor trailer load last year, and we just decided the math didn't make sense. It would have been like, I don't know, like 40,000 books maybe. But it's like, what do you do with the tens of thousands of duds? Like, that's the part you gotta figure out. Gotta do what you're passionate about. Yeah. I mean, passion's important to a point. Or passion's important to a point. I said impassion. I don't think that's a word. Passion's important to a point, but it also needs to work. It has to have some utility. You may be passionate about something, that nobody else in the world does, but Jeanette takes a break will carry me. I need to really internalize that comment to some degree, but I don't know that I could take a break. I don't do good with breaks. I thought you were making, oh, I can't read that. I thought you were making a good living selling jeans and shoes. Why change? I mean, the reason we changed was we couldn't scale it to a point we wanted without just devoting an enormous amount of resources into it, more than we were willing to do. I mean, there's more to it than that, but that's the short answer. Just ask Karin Prof. I think you guys should start a weekly show again. I know. If I could just get Karin to get on here, it'd have to be at night. Maybe we'll do that. I'm passionate about paying my bills. You're the only one, Michelle. I'm not passionate about it. it's like uh, it's like what's his name in Office Space? Looks like you've been missing a lot of work, and he's like, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob. I'm not miss. I don't miss paying bills when I don't have to, but I caught Aaron with the title. I know, so clickbaitish, right? Aaron's running the cash flow issue as well. Yeah, payability. It's a big percentage they take when you annualize it over a year. It's actually pretty significant, is the problem that I see with it. Um, I've considered it, but I know I've yet to run into anybody that I know who's done it who said, "Oh, it was a game changer. It was so great." Maybe those people are out there. I just haven't met them yet. That's possible. But the people that I have met who've done it said, not so great. Um, I don't know. Have you got any FBA sourcing tips? My game is weak. Yeah, buy low, sell high. No, in all seriousness, um, if you can find great ranking products that even have a low dollar amount profit margin wise, and you can go deep on them, go deep on them. As long as you're not giving up a lot of. Are we back? Sorry about that. Internet glitch there. Probably about time to get off here. I was just going to say on Amazon, books are a great way to start because they're cheap, they're plentiful, they're everywhere. You can build some momentum, you can build some inventory. They'll sell throughout the year, and then when you're done with them, you can just dispose of them. Marrakesh says, maybe time for a vacation. I've already had a vacation. Kinda. We went to Charleston last month. That was nice. Um, but yeah, maybe time for another vacation. Uh, Clint says, you're not going to scale with Amazon because you don't have the money you need to scale. Clint, you're not entirely wrong about that. Part of the biggest problem we have with Amazon is that while money's coming back out, but I have to use money to live on because it's our full-time gig. And when it's your full-time gig, you're depleting a lot of cash out of the business. Um, if I had a full-time job, quote unquote, or even just a job that paid all the bills, and devote everything that came out of Amazon right back into Amazon, it'd be a whole nother story. I definitely could scale quite a bit faster, but that's not the reality. So I guess I would tell people, I used to tell people if you wanted to go full time into Amazon or eBay, you should do it. Now I'd probably tell people keep a job that will pay your bills, but also allow you the energy to start getting better and better results. If that makes sense. We need one big poorhouse for us all to live in. Yeah, Aaron, that would be great. That's pretty funny. We just need one big house. Maybe that'll be our business. We'll start permanent B&Bs for resellers. You just come live there for 10 of us in a house. This could be a reality show. Like we could put this on TV, right? MTV. What was that show way back in the day that started the reality show craze they did? The Real World. That's what it was. Um, it would probably be something like that too. I have a feeling the reseller house. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, look, that's enough ranting and raving for today. If that was a rant and rave, thank you guys for hanging out. I'll be back soon. I don't know if it'll be with another. Maybe it will be. It probably will be something else I'm here to complain about. But I appreciate you guys listening, and maybe you got something out of it. Hope you did. Check out the description for all kinds of helpful links and the tools and equipment we use in our business. And I'll catch up with you guys real soon. All right. Take care, guys.